We solid. Peace and love, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Translation. I am your co-host, the light-skinned wonder. It is Kurt in the building with my co-host, the other light-skinned twin.
Nick Bean was good.
Man, we solid, bro. How you doing?
Man, got to get the timetables together. That's on me. You know, we supposed to be recording about an hour ago. But I'm going to take that hit on the chin. How you feeling, man?
You fashionably late, though. You looking fly as always, my dog.
Same as you, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to keep up with the Shout-Town, man.
SEL co-sponsor you today?
Yeah, they got me. I see they got you together, too.
Hey, man, they cooking out here.
Clean, man. Clean.
Some fly shit. Let me see the back.
Yeah, show them the back of that. Yeah. Show them. Let's see what I got. This is, a little something special.
Is that the welcome to Vegas?
Yeah, welcome to Vegas.
Man, you fly out here.
Hey, man, This is how we do. Man.
Keep it in black. Keep it easy.
Yeah. So what we talking about today? It's always something to talk about here at Translation Media. What we talking about?
Man, I was just scrolling on IG the other day, and it was some gentleman talking about what the new American dream is and everything else like that. So, I mean, the American dream has changed from
absolutely.
What was it? I don't know when that title came about. We got to research that. I might have to look at my phone in a second, but
probably like the 50s.
Yeah, the 50s and 60s,
something like that.
But you got Trump out here trying to make America great again.
Oh man!
But at the same time, what is what's the new American dream? What is the American dream now? Like, it's not the same melting pot and glitz and glamour as it used to be. G,
nah,
what's going on?
Things have definitely changed with the American dream. I mean, I feel like. The blue collar. Well, first of all, if I had to give an immediate answer on the spot, the American dream was the middle class, the working middle class,
for sure.
Right. So without going completely deep into politics and going down that rabbit hole, the American dream was the blue collar working class citizen. That's what drove how America was.
Right.
You work. It was literally the man was out working. The wife stayed at home, raised the kids, and the father provided, right? And then, if you had a nice job, it was a one job income that could provide for a house or a home and a family. And then you had baseball, and you go watch a good game, and
right.
just this grandiose picture of what the American dream was. And then over time that changed. Obviously we graced the earth,
sure.
around the 80s.
For sure.
80s babies, not trying to age us or nothing like that, but we holding on. We look good.
Right.
But yeah, right around the 80s, things changed. The drug pandemic came in. Hip hop is birthed around, the 80s and things like that. So
right.
Things changed. Not saying hip hop changed the landscape, but it kind of did. Things changed the way the environments changed. So American Dream changed over the course of time. I believe now, even then, when we were younger, the American dream was changing then. It was literally changing right in front of our eyes. So it's definitely different today.
Let me give you two concepts that I researched. The phrase American dream was coined by historian James Truslow Adams. Truslow, I might say it wrong.
It's all good.
In 1931 book, Epic of America, The Epic of America, to describe the national ethos opportunity for a better life.
Okay.
So Wikipedia says the tenets of American dream originated from the Declaration of Independence, which states all men are created equal.
Duh.
So.
Duh moment.
Duh, but at the same time, all men aren't created equal at all.
No, we already know that.
We was both coined, 1/10 of a man?
3/5.
3/5 of a man?
3/5 of a man, yep.
Is the American dream really the American dream, and how has it translated into where we're at in 2025?
Well, here's the thing, man. I truly feel that when it comes to us and the American dream, we've always tried to figure out how to make it work.
Right.
Even with the cards stacked against us, we tried to figure out how to make it work.
I got a hustler spirit.
Yeah. Period.
Check out my swag, people
walk
wear
like
I wear it.
Yeah, walk like a ball player.
Okay.
So we always have tried to figure it out, even when the cards are stacked against us.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we were fed the American dream too. Nowadays, the American dream, you can't even support a house with one income.
Man, at all.
You either if one income is coming in on one side, you got to have multiple streams, or you got to be bankrolling that. Like, there's a small percentage of people that are in careers that can support a household on their own.
For sure.
And when we talking about household, we talking about a wife 2 kids or a kid, and it's challenging. So you need both sides. So that whole picture is blurred. It's super skewed because that's not the same American dream.
Right.
So we got some of the people that live here in this world, in this country, that are looking at the old school way of things, and then there's this new way of doing things, and they're holding on to the past, and that in fact affects their relationships, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So it's like, that then goes into the relationships, marriages, and things like that, which is a completely different conversation. But it starts to tarnish what the American dream looks like, and then now we're dealing with the political climate we're in, whether you are pro-Trump, anti-Trump. I think for me, it really doesn't matter. I think the bigger picture in any conversation I'm having nowadays is, what are we doing collectively in humanity to advance it, regardless of political climate?
The community.
Yeah, the community, right. So that's at Translation Media, we big on community. We're having conversations with business owners and entrepreneurs, group economics. I think that's important too, because the other part of it is maybe back then in the 30s to 50s, it was like, okay, well, I got my income, I'm cool, I know my neighbor, but we're not doing group economics like that. At least it's not being praised and preached to,
for sure,
or conditioned.
No, I mean, we've been conditioned not even to, as a culture, for when I'm gonna start there, in a separatist mentality, man. Like, instead of 5 fingers, we need to be a fist. And that's where throughout time we have been divided, because in my opinion, they put people in certain positions and then don't allow them to each one teach one or give back, or we're going to take that status away from you if you bring too many people along with you. You can have your circle.
Right.
That's about it.
Right.
And so, that's where, my vision of how the American dream has fluctuated in our culture, because we aren't teammates no more. We're not. We don't collaborate well. Somebody want to be the man just cause. What Cam say?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody else, if he's the man, somebody in some capacity in our culture has to shit on that man, or bring him down, or knock him off his pedestal.
Yep.
Why? Let's celebrate him, edify him, but also whatever he's into can trickle down to the masses. Kind of like a pyramid, but at the same time, but that pyramid is going to have a great foundation, because, each one's going to be each other's crutches.
Right.
And so, but during, the American Dream Foundation, to me, especially in our culture, was just us being able to have a space for us to have a house and take care of our kids. And, a lot of those different jobs that were the foundation of the American Dream were manufacturing, which got sent overseas. Entrepreneurship has become really, I think, the new American dream.
Right.
Because it comes with entrepreneurship, and there's no frown at somebody that's working a 9 to 5. I think you should be able to do both.
You can do both.
You can do it. You have a 9 to 5, or you can be working for a company or corporation, but you can have side hustles. And that's where I think everybody is starting to grasp when it comes to that. So that American dream space now. It's not the American dream, it's the survival mode one, because you have to be able to pay these bills, because inflation is taking the economy to a place where people saying, geez, this ain't affordable.
Oh yeah.
And car notes, but making sure that you don't live above your means is bringing back to the foundation and root. I think that's where people need to get back to, instead of glamorizing opulence.
Oh yeah,
and the flash and the glass. So
I got a serious problem with that, And again, we talked about this. We talk about this on camera, off camera, and there's nothing wrong with wanting certain things or nice things for yourself. But we've gotten in moderation, right? We've gotten so far away from it. We've gotten so far away from the moderation that that's all you see is the opulence, the luxury, the flashy, all of this stuff. And when you look
excess.
at and the crazy thing is, you look at the numbers. That's the wealthy is the 10%. Really is 1%. Not even the 10.
Yeah,
it's 1%. So let's just say it is 10%. That's 90% of the world isn't wealthy. So it's a whole lot of faking and fronting going on. I'm not saying that people, just because we talked about this with Tashar and their credit company. Yeah. So it's like, just because you have it doesn't mean you should spend it.
Yeah, for real.
And don't get me wrong. Again, I like nice things, But at the same time, that balance is off. It started to become off balance when that's all you're doing is trying to impress people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about, like I said, when we talked about the American dream.
Yeah.
We've shifted into this direction to where this is all we think about is I need the newest car and the biggest home. And it's like sometimes you might need to just practice minimalism. You know, you need to practice minimalism. And you don't need all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, well, personally, if I live by myself, I don't need a big house. That's too much to maintain.
For sure.
I might just need a condo.
For sure.
You know, but who am I entertaining
why
in
you need 5
the house?
bedrooms for if it's just you?
Yeah.
Or if you got a family of 4, why do you need?
Yeah.
I mean, 4 bedrooms is cool.
Exactly.
But if your kid, you got 2 boys, there's nothing wrong with them being in the same room.
Yeah. I mean,
it's learn community anyway.
Yeah. The thing is like stop comparing what you're doing to somebody else. It's a good measure and within balance, but when you start to say, I got to have this because Kurt has it.
Yeah.
And like you said, we were talking about somebody being at the top of the company, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the way a company is structured, you know, the CEO, CMO, CFO, COO, like all of these different titles, they all serve a grander purpose, and that's to drive home the success of the business.
Correct, the collective.
Yeah, you know, you look at sports, it's the same thing. You look at military structure, there's always a team.
Yeah.
You know, you even look at politics. If you understand how politics are structured, you know, if you really want to have an impactful vote, you got to go for the chairs that are in the House. You know, Congress seats. These people are holding positions for 20 years.
Let me ask you this: how long do these old farts stay in these Congress seats, man? Like, we need fresh blood in there. And I think because somebody has to come to a realization. Maybe it may never happen. And I was talking to my mother about this. You know, I was like, you know, Trump has done a real good job of incubating he knew what to do in his second term to get what he wanted out of it. So he got reelected, and he was just like, right now he is I don't know what he's likened to a king of a kingdom.
Okay.
I think he looks at the landscape of the world or the U.S. as his employees. Trump is business-minded.
Yeah.
So he looks at everybody like, hey, they're my employees. I'm not worried about if they eat or how much money that they make. I'm worrying about like how I can continue to line my pockets. It's kind of like a Pharaoh. Pharaoh didn't give people jobs. He had slaves and workers, and they fed off what the Pharaoh gave them. I feel like that's how Trump is liking them himself.
Well, I mean, to be honest,
and that's taken away from the American dream.
To be honest, the U.S. is a corporation.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we know that.
Yeah,
that's true.
But we're not saying it, though.
No, we're not.
Like, like-minded people that are having these conversations that aren't on, you know, shows or podcasts behind closed doors, they understand that.
Yeah.
You know, the businessmen and, you know, the entrepreneurs and the likes, they know it. Yeah. But the common person or people don't understand that. Yeah, it's a corporation.
For sure.
Yeah, and
I forgot all about that.
It's a corporation. Right, and it's structured like that. From the legalities, the verbiage, everything is structured as a corporation. Correct. So it's not far off. And before I continue what I'm going to say, this is not me saying I support Trump. In this show, I won't even have that conversation of, well, I will a little bit, but it's not about who I support, who I voted for, who I didn't vote for.
It's about coming together.
It's about understanding what's going on. Or doing your best, or doing the research. And what I'm trying to say is, if we understand that this is a corporation, then Trump's actions aren't that far off.
Man, you're right.
You know, and now, see, what I've always said is, I think especially people of color, but all of us, because if you look at the way everything was structured back then, it wasn't even about color. It was, let me rephrase that, it was used a lot. But what was also used was the wealthy and the poor. And so when you look at the structure historically, it's been the same. You had people that weren't of color that were on the bottom. True. Specifically the Irish, right? Not just the Irish, Polish, whomever. Yeah. Do your own research, use your own discernment, right? I'm not here to kick facts. It's not it's not CNN.
Give concepts.
This is concepts, right? It's just jogging the memory.
Yeah.
When you look at it, it came down to who was wealthy and who was poor.
Yeah.
And when it came down to uplifting the Irish or anybody that wasn't of color, they then flipped it and used color to say, you're, no matter what, you're still a higher class than these people.
For sure.
Whoever those people were.
For sure.
Right? Again. So when you look at the history of all that what was going on then, it's like, okay, it's not far off. And then you look at the corporation aspect of it. What we collectively have to do is take our emotions out of it. Man. We are too emotionally
But that's what
wound up.
social media is giving the masses.
It's always been like that,
It gives people a place to let their emotions out.
It's always been like that, though.
Man, I said somebody, I was on Facebook, and somebody was, it's funny to see people go back and forth about it, and I really try to stay out of it. But I was just like, man, y'all are on here talking like it's all this is going on, but you're not doing anything to make it better for the community.
Right.
You're just on here voicing your opinion.
Well, yeah, you're front line.
Yeah, you're front line.
You're
but you're
front line and online.
You're cheering for whoever you want to rah-rah for, or you're going against it, whoever you want to rah-rah for. But nobody's coming together as a collective and saying, hey, let's just take care of our own community, like I always say.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take care of our own community.
Oh, for sure.
And if we come together as a collective and live in minimalism, then the dollar will stretch further and we'll be more better as a collective to where their emotions or their movements or their plays or their strategies don't affect us as much.
Yeah. I mean, we got to understand that it's a strategy anyway. Yeah. They're not playing the same game that we think they're playing. They're playing a different game than the common folk. And that's the issue. One, we're too emotionally wound up in a game. We think they're playing with them. The front line and online, there's always a place for that. I love social media because you can have some disinformation, misinformation, but you can also have information.
Right.
You should always do discernment, even if it's coming from a mainstream media source, because rumor has it, allegedly, they're scripted.
Oh,
and if that's the case, then we got to go do our own. We got to have boots on the ground that could tell us directly what's going on. And then we still got to do more research. There's a lot of research. The average person doesn't want to do that. The average person is too wound up in their own lives and inflation, and I gotta work 2 to 3 jobs, so I don't have time for this. It's so many different distractions and divisive tactics. We got to understand that that's what's happening, and when we start to peel back the layers, we'll see what's going on. And I'm not making it a color thing, because we got allies in this battle. We got people that aren't of color that are fully supportive because they understand the way the world looks in real life. We understand, and those who have been around this world understand that it's not the way that it's been painted, and that's intentional.
Right.
Coming back to America and the way that the corporation is structured, it was like, okay, well, these are corporation actions. If you understand that that's what's going on, you'll play the game a lot differently.
For sure.
And then when we look at group economics, that enhances what we're doing on the ground. So no matter what's going on, we still can band together and have or exercise community. And that's something that, from my understanding, and allegedly, that they don't want to happen anyway. They don't want anybody coming together and to when they're trying to divide so they can conquer.
For sure.
And again, this is all allegedly. You do your own research on this, and I like when we talk about frontlining. Like I got some fam that's not just online, but they on the ground,
right,
hitting the pavement hard, and salute to them. But there's work to be done behind the scenes too. In the words of Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale, I think it was Bobby Seale specifically talking to the party. Right. He was like, "We got to organize. We got to get organized. They had the slang, the '70s verbiage. We got to get organized. Like we do. Like we have to get organized. We have to understand how to structure ourselves, and it doesn't necessarily mean organization is marching and rioting or whatever. That's half of the battle. For sure. The bigger battle is the dollar and the power of the dollar and the economics. And like you was talking about the community and circulating the dollar and the business elements, everything, like that's where it is. That's where it is, because that's what they're talking about right now. They talking about we should cancel Christmas, cancel Thanksgiving, cancel these holidays because all these are
distractions.
It's all economical.
Go out to stimulate the economy because people spending.
Consumerism.
For sure.
So you've been hearing it. We hit them where it hurts. It's the dollar. You know, so if we stop spending, that hurts. You know, it's not about marching all the time. It's about the structure behind the scenes.
Right.
We start talking about inflation, then what are some things that sustain inflation? Life insurance.
Real estate.
Right, real estate.
Yeah.
Most of us don't have these assets. Most of us don't even understand how to even structure that or get involved on the ground with that. That's why we got some really good people in this world that are doing the work that's showing you. You know, you got plenty of guys that and women that are talking about economics, talking about real estate.
Oh yeah, it's a bunch of
people. You know, obviously we got
Will,
C. Blair and Associates.
We got Will Roundtree. He's out here doing it.
Will Roundtree,
C. Blair and Associates.
That's right.
They're definitely boots on the ground. I know in the political side, I got my girl Ashley. She's out here doing a lot of things. She's a lobbyist, but she works in politics. Jaron Gray, he works for the Urban Chamber. So there's a lot of people that we can have conversations with and highlight some of the what's the word I'm looking for? Some of the conversations or things that are going on in the community that people may not be privy to. A lot of people don't know where to go and get to the Urban League meetings and everything else like that and what they're doing to empower the communities and everything because they're doing some great things. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I got some people too, you know, since we're doing a couple name drops, you know. My brothers Q Ward and Ramses Ja down in Phoenix is fighting a good battle. They actually all over. They journalists for iHeartRadio, right? And they have Civic Cypher. And so, you know, my brothers, they're very, very knowledgeable on what's going on, all the ins and outs of what's going on politically and just going on in our world and our culture too.
You gotta chat with them.
Yeah, for sure. That's family, like literally blood, you know. Sure. And there's plenty of names we can name, right? But I'm one of the ones that are like, all right, cool. So, you know, what happens after this? You know, like, okay, so now we upset, now we rah-rah, you know.
I'm never upset. I'm the strategist now.
Collectively. I ain't talking about like
the
personally. The masses
always get mad.
Exactly. So I'm like, what's next? What are we doing? You know, now that you cried, now that you got worked up, what's next? Because there has to be something that's next. You don't do a blackout Tuesday or something like that, or a Juneteenth or something like that, where you stop supporting one thing and then you turn around and you right back there the next day. What is that? Like, for all of that, we just might as well not do it. You know, like boycotting Target. Yeah. Okay, cool. How long are you going to boycott Target? For sure. Are you boycotting Target indefinitely? Yeah. You know, because there's a Target on every block. Man. You know, are you just Deion Cole made a joke when it was boycotting, I think Gucci or something like that. And he was like, is it okay to wear Gucci now? Like, am I safe? Because I really bought this dope outfit. And I would hate to not have to get rid of it. But
that's the thing. I mean, I get it. So even something like that, like, what is the purpose? Okay, you bought it. You already supported it. So it's time to go down the line and saying, if we're championing this movement, why do you need to go back to wearing Gucci? What is that going to do for your ego?
It's the American dream.
But now, what's it going to do for your ego, though?
It's the American dream.
Who said it? Deion Cole?
Deion Cole.
He's from Chicago.
I think yeah.
So Deion Cole, we got to have a conversation because you are already Deion Cole. Yeah. We're mentioning your name. That means you're a household name. That means you're out here. Gucci ain't doing nothing for you.
I think Deion was, you know, the good thing about the comics,
he was being sarcastic.
Comedians, is he's shining light on what everybody's thinking, and he's very intelligent with his work. It's the American dream. Let's come back to the main point. It's the American dream. I gotta wear Gucci because I saw Curtis wearing Gucci. You got that new Louis on. I need that, and that's what they think the American dream is. And that's the problem is like it goes back to when we talk about fashion too. Everything is subjective. You wear different brands. I'm all about storytelling. So, you know, I think I just watched Gucci's movie, the Gucci movie, maybe like 2 years ago, you know, for the first time. And I was like, oh, this is deep. No, not Gucci Mane. But the House of Gucci. I think it was a Lady Gaga. House of Gucci? Okay, got it. It was actually really good. Okay. That's when I learned Tom Ford used to work for Gucci. So, but again, I was intrigued. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I know the Gucci story. Bars. you know. And but is that gonna make me wear Gucci even more? No. I'll tell you who would have me wearing Gucci, and they just gave him his credit over the past 5 years, and that's Dapper Dan.
Right. Oh, yeah,
Dapper Dan.
The way he chopped up the clothes.
Bro, yeah, the way he was taking the textiles and the prints, and he was coming up with these customs, and he was somebody from Harlem.
Fact.
You know, like that to me is why I would even wear it. Yeah. Because I know if I went to Harlem during that time frame, he'd be able to explain to me why I should wear it. Okay. Because he know the story.
But those are our Dapper Dan transition using the Gucci to make an urban style thing.
Absolutely.
So still, what's that giving us? The power that we set the trends.
Right. Exactly.
So if somebody want to see, hey, where you get that SEL code from, you got to go meet with the people where they at.
Yeah, for sure.
So
absolutely,
the SEL code is online.
Yeah,
it's hot right now.
Yeah,
and you gotta go. People gotta go check that stuff out, man. Because I mean, honestly, they got some of the fly stuff.
And if you listen to the storyline behind SEL code is collaborative, and it's for the people. You know, it's all about enterprise. Yeah. So that's the thing is too many people want to be exclusive, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Exclusivity is cool, but it's all about, for me, it's all about balance. Yeah. I got a yin and yang tattoo on my arm. It's all about balance. I'm big on balance. And, you know, sometimes you got to pull up, you got to step out and be fly. Yeah. Sometimes you got to be with the common folk, man. Like, you got to be, you know, we in Vegas. I've been north. Yeah. You know, as they say, I've been north. You know, I know where they at. Yeah. You know, I know where everything is in Vegas for the most part. Yeah. So again, when we talk about the American dream, we have to collectively reevaluate. For everybody that's watching this, for anybody that watches this, or anything that talks about the American dream, politics, all of these things, economics, we have to sit at home and we have to reevaluate how we look at the American dream and how we're living our lives, who we're living our lives for, and really do a reality check. And it's there in that moment, for me, in my opinion, is where you'll come to a realization. Because you'll start asking questions. You either have the answers to the questions or you're going to search for the answers for the questions. Yeah. But either way, you're going to do some searching and some digging. And you got to do the work.
Man, you said some bars today, bro. So, like, if in the comments, man, tell us what y'all think, man. What's the vision of the American dream is? Me, myself, I don't need anybody's. You know me. I don't give a damn about somebody's opinion of me. So, for sure, you know, from that standpoint, like, if we're going out here to champion to what our kids, what we're giving back to our kids, what we're instilling into our families and our communities, I think that's what the American dream is. It doesn't have to be a status level. It doesn't have to be a name. I think it's been coming together as a collective and seeing everybody win in that capacity with me. And, you know, that's what we hear at Translation, to translate that for the people.
That's right.
Our thought process and how we're going to collaborate in the communities and supporting each other's business and visions. And we got more coming down the pipeline in that capacity. So
absolutely.
What else? What else you got about that, man?
Oh, no. I mean, I think, you know, we talking about, we having subjects on the show, the conversations on the show about subjects that we're actually integrated in, you know. So I think that's the biggest thing is we're going to be fun and lighthearted, but we're also going to talk about things that are relevant and how we look at how it impacts us. Right. And then you're going to see us do a lot of this stuff in real time. Oh. You know, I'm super excited about the group economics that me and you have talked about off camera, the meetings that we've had, and the people that we've introduced each other to, and how we're trying to help each other out so we can practice these things that we're talking about on the show. Oh. So all of the work will be shown as we build Translation Media and we, you know, do what we're doing. Man, you know, and people just have to stay tuned and lock in on us.
Man, continue to tap in, people. Let us know if you got any ideas about what this American Dream topic is, man. It's always good to see y'all again. Tap into Translation Media. This is Nick Bean.
And this is Kurt Blair.
Man, stay solid, everybody.
All right, peace.